Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful Christmas Isn't a Season, It's a Feeling tumbler. Let's go ahead and jump right in. You want to start off with your tumbler spray painted and dried. I spray painted most of it. I left a spot where I knew I was going to put the vinyl. The vinyl I will be using is from Gracefully Created, and it's a super cute leopard print and tree pattern. When I do my vinyl, I typically don't measure. Well, I measure with my eyeballs instead of a ruler or tape measure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up to my tumbler where I kind of want it to go on the bottom, and then wherever I want it to end at the top, I'm going to snip it with my scissors just to make a little mark. I'm going to use this paper cutter, and what I do is I find where I put that little mark at, and I put it right inside the line where the blade will cross over. See, there's my little mark where I'm pointing, and then the blade will just slide right across that and give me the exact size that I was wanting. Whenever I apply my vinyl, I also like to use the hinge method. I will peel back this little corner here, if I can get it. Come on, there we go. So I'll peel it back, and then I'm going to cut off the backing, just a little strip. And then I'm going to place that backing back on top of the vinyl. This is a little bit tedious because I don't like to go all the way down to that bottom edge there. I like to leave a little bit of a gap. One, because I like to put the glitter up on there. And then two, just when you go to finish it off, it's just easier to not have that rigid line of vinyl. You don't have to get as many layers of epoxy on to get it smooth. So once I line it up good, I'm going to take off that little strip that I cut, and then press that section down, and then slowly make my way around the tumbler, just pressing down the vinyl as I go. And let me apologize real quick. I am sniffling a little bit. I'm really trying not to. I'm just getting over a cold, so my voice is a little raspier than normal, and I'm sniffling. I'm sorry. I really try not to do it. Once I get to the end, I am going to try to stop it right at that beginning edge, I guess you'd call it. You can feel it when you're pressing the vinyl down. But I'm going to peel this back, and taking a sharp knife, I'm going to go ahead and cut right at that line as straight as I possibly can. And then I'm going to peel this off nice and slow, make sure it cut all the way through. And I'm going to go ahead and stick that back on the original paper it came on, because I'm going to cut my bottom circle that I use for the bottom. Duh, I just said bottom circle. But I'm going to cut that circle out of that vinyl. Since we're going directly in with our glitter in this step, I'm going to go ahead and cover the vinyl edge here with some masking tape to make sure I don't get any of my glitter glue or glitter on it. On this top edge here, I wanted to add some gold foils that I have. So instead of covering up the vinyl, I'm going to go right above the vinyl and place my tape. I'm going to use that vinyl edge as a guide to make sure I am laying this tape straight. I will be going in with Dirty Martini. This is from Petey Creative Studio. It's this beautiful olive green with hints of gold glitter. To apply my glitter, I will be using Adhesive Apothecary glitter glue. If you are a glue user, or even if you're not, even if you're an epoxy fan, like the epoxy method to apply your glitter, you should really give them a try. This blows any glitter glue I've ever tried out of the water. It is absolutely amazing. I was an epoxy method girl forever. Like, I couldn't find anything else that I liked, but this is amazing. So definitely go give them a try. And it isn't usually chunky, like here you'll see like little chunks. I glittered a few cups before this video and I didn't clean my brush in between, so it had some little dry pieces on it, but that's what those are. It's normally not like that. It's just me neglecting my brush. Don't do it. I advise you not to do it anyway. Now that I'm done with the glue, I'm just going to go ahead and apply my glitter to the areas that I put the glue. When you're done glittering, you'll want to go ahead and pull that tape right away. And you'll see when I pull the next piece of tape that a lot of my spray paint base came up. I obviously didn't prep my cup good enough. Usually that doesn't happen. Either that or I didn't let my paint dry all the way, because honestly I was in a hurry. I just wanted to get to filming because I was so excited when I came up with this idea. And I mean, the color underneath doesn't really matter because I'm putting metallic foil. But you definitely want to go ahead and prep that a little bit better, or let your paint dry all the way. Now we're going to wait about 20-30 minutes until that glue dries before going in with Adhesive Apothecary Binding Potion. I love to use my binding potion when I do my glitter and vinyl in one step, because binding potion will literally lock in every little flake of glitter that you have on your tumbler. It's not going to move at all. It is a water-based product and safe to apply with your fingers if you'd like, or you can use a brush. I am going to speed through this because I really take my time and make sure I get all that glitter sealed, because I don't want glitter to travel onto my vinyl. Now that I'm done applying that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up any drips that I see. And then I'm going to set this aside and let it dry for about an hour, just to make sure it's fully dry, before I move on to our next step, which is adding the foil to that middle area there. Both the foil I'm about to use and the adhesive I have are from Southern Belle Glitter. I'm just going to go ahead and apply a nice amount around that middle section there. And then when I'm done applying, let it dry till it goes clear. When it's clear, you'll know it's ready to apply the foils. This is the name of the foil I'll be using. It is Bright Leopard. You'll want to go ahead and open it up and then cut off a strip wide enough for the area you'll be adding your foil. Applying foil is really easy. All you have to do is press it down where you want it to go. Now, I didn't think about it when I started applying this, but I should have, because this is a pet peeve of mine. When you apply vinyl or anything with a seam, like multiple pieces of it, I like to line up the seams. So I didn't do that with this. Luckily, you can barely tell when it's done, but typically I would line that starting edge of the foil up exactly on the seam of the vinyl, so that way the seams match. But I'm telling you this now, so when you go to do it, you could do what I failed to do. I personally think it gives it a more polished and finished look when everything is aligned and just neatly done. So just keep working this around the tumbler, pressing down as you go, and when you're done, all you have to do is lift up that transfer film, and that is it. If you have little missing sections, you can definitely take your foil and press it down on those areas and try to lift up some remaining foil. Once this is done, all you have to do is epoxy until smooth. I did 2 layers before moving on to this step of applying our vinyl. Now that my tumbler is nice and smooth, I'm going to go ahead and apply my vinyl. I will go ahead and put down in the description all the dimensions of these decals for you. Using transfer tape, I'm going to go ahead and take my decal and apply it onto my offset before putting it on the tumbler. I prefer transfer tape with these little guidelines, I guess you could call them grid lines. I call them guidelines because that's what I use them for, is a guide. So I'm going to take one of those lines and make sure it's lined up straight underneath part of a word, and then I'm going to press it down and apply it onto the offset by using my eyeballs. I don't really have any tricks for this. I just make sure it looks lined up before I press everything down. I like to use the hinge method when I apply my decals, and I do this by cutting my transfer tape oversized. As you can see, there's a lot of overhang there, and I'm going to go ahead and press it down and peel the backing most of the way off and then put it back on. When I place my decal, I like to find the seam and put that opposite side of my decal. Using the lines on the transfer tape, I'm going to go ahead and line those up. I'm using that bottom foil line there to make sure this looks straight, and then I'm also checking the top rim, but then I realized I wasn't quite opposite of the seam, so I'm going to go ahead and reposition. I'm really OCD when it comes to this. Again, just making sure I am placing that line straight there on that foil line, and then making sure it is straight on top as well. I'm going to go ahead and hinge this over, take off the backing from the vinyl, and press it down on my tumbler. Here's a little circle that I cut from that extra vinyl from the base of the tumbler. Just gonna apply it there on the bottom. And then I also apply my logo with care instructions right in the middle of that as well. Now we're ready to move on to our vinyl striping. For this part, I'm going to use these thicker pieces. Again, the dimensions I'll put down in the description box. I think these are at 0.1. I'll just double check just to make sure I don't want to be saying the wrong thing. But I'm going to go ahead and apply that around the top area of the foil. I'm going to be using that top edge there of the foil to make sure I am lining up my vinyl striping straight. When you have the top section done, we'll be taking another thicker piece and applying it around the bottom part of the foil section. And with one more piece of the thicker cut vinyl striping, we'll be going along the bottom edge of the vinyl. We are going to now do the same exact steps, but using this gold vinyl and adding that into the center of each of our thicker black vinyl striping pieces. Taking our thinner pieces, we're going to be going in on either side of the vinyl. I left a super teeny tiny space, as you can see here. I zoomed in so you can see how small that space is. I'm just going to be doing this around the top and the bottom of the vinyl, inside of both of those thicker pieces. Now that I'm finished with that, I'm going to go ahead and do a once over, make sure everything looks good. If you need to adjust anything, now is the time to do it. Because it is now time to finish this tumbler off, I just applied 2 more layers of epoxy, and this is how it turned out. I really hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you did, I would really appreciate if you'd hit that like button and also give my channel a follow. And don't forget to check down in the description. I do have discount codes for a lot of the products I use on this tumbler, so that'll help save you some money on your purchases. Thanks again for watching. Until next time. Okay, bye!